There are 5 different things that's going to hold body fat around your midsection.
Or any part of your body, but midsection especially.
Mainly the midsection.
Yeah.
We are a big one with the midsection. I like to have
Everyone's
abs
all about the abs here.
all year round.
Yeah.
And the 5 things are stress, cortisol.
Yeah.
That's a big one. The cortisol is the stress hormone that sits around the midsection.
Yeah.
So if you're high in stress, you will hold a lot more fluid
And this could be
around
physical stress, this could be mental stress, this is stresses that you can't see, as in things in the air and like sprays and chemicals and stuff. All of these things play a role.
I
in
actually
increasing
hold
your stress
a
levels.
lot of cortisol when I overdo my exercise. Like if I'm playing a lot of tennis and doing resistance and I'm overdoing it, I'll hold a lot more fluid and body fat around the midsection. So you can overdo this cortisol.
I was going to say, I hold when I'm in aircon all day. Like little things like that doesn't have to be physical or mental. It can be an external thing that can increase your stress and cortisol.
Yep.
Continue.
The next one is alcohol.
Yeah.
So have you noticed the regular Aussie bogan down at the pub? Skinny limbs, skinny arms, skinny legs, and he's got the pot belly hanging around. He's got that visceral fat.
So he's not fat, but he's just got this organ.
It's a gut.
Fat.
It's a beer gut. It's called the beer gut. So alcohol can sit around the midsection.
Yeah.
So if you can spot grow something, you can spot reduce something, I believe.
Yeah.
I've seen it time and time again. So we've got stress, we've got alcohol, we've got carbohydrates. Now, if you're overdoing too many carbohydrates, carbs are good for you.
Or carbs that aren't so good for you. So if you're indulging in carbs that aren't, good carbs for you too much, too often.
A lot of simple carbohydrates, so your sugary, fast-acting carbs. If you're having too much of that, like I said before, carbohydrates, you actually need it for energy.
Yeah, we don't want to sort of
production.
say this and you guys will be afraid of carbs. Like carbs are good, especially
Carbs are good, but if you're
yeah.
overdoing your carbohydrates, and that's going back to the beer gut, you've got alcohol and it mixes a whole heap of sugars into the alcohol, and this is why these people are holding.
For example, if you go all week and you're good on your nutrition and you're eating well, you're training well, but then you're going the entire weekend and you're binge eating of carbs and alcohol, you're going to be holding.
Yep.
So that's going to stall.
Big time.
Yeah.
Number 4 is sleep. Not enough sleep. And this is the one we want to touch on today. Yeah. We want to enhance your results by getting more sleep.
Yeah.
Now, your hormones are the king. And to produce good quality hormones and balance out your hormones, we want to get a good night's sleep. Now, we know a lot of you guys have got kids out there and it's a little bit harder, but what we want to recommend is trying to find better regimes to help yourself get better quality sleep and your loved ones around you.
Yeah.
So what we recommend before sleep, before you go to bed at night, is logging off technology 2 hours before bed. Now, if you think about it, majority of our stress comes from this device right here, okay?
Not what's on it though, look at that little face.
Pumpkin. Pumpkin's on there. Majority of our stress comes from the device.
Yeah.
We personally log off technology 2 hours before we go to sleep.
Yeah.
It gives us our own thoughts. We usually watch some sort of show on TV where we can sort of just log off.
So when we say technology, we do watch a movie at night, or we'll just chat, like depending on the day. But we definitely, our phones are away, they're on charge, and we see them the next day. Because we don't want it to be influencing what we're thinking about before bed. Because yes, catastrophes can happen and life happens, and then if you look at your phone right before you go to bed and you're doing that every single day, that adds up and your sleep is going to be
for sure. Yeah. So we're talking about social media.
Yeah.
We're talking about the news, really switching off to that, and let's have your good quality thoughts before you go to sleep. You could even read out your goals, or you could educate yourself with something positive.
Yeah.
But we do want to find some better regimes to get better sleep. Now, if you have a good quality sleep, you're going to feel amazing the next day. You're going to feel you're going to be on target with your training, your nutrition. If you have a poor sleep, you're possibly going to overindulge in some sweeter foods, or you're going to fall off track with your foods, or you're not going to have a great training session. Now, I would personally take a good quality sleep, a good 7 hours plus deep sleep over a training session the next day. Any day.
If we've had days where we're, especially when we travel the world and stuff, we had days where we would have like maybe 2 hours sleep. we did not train.
No.
There is no way. Like there's extreme measures where if you're one of those people that gets a couple of hours sleep, I wouldn't recommend pushing your body to the absolute brink and then following that up with a training session. We would recommend getting that, what is it, the hormone, the serotonin levels going again and get some good sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right one.
If I had a poor sleep, I wouldn't train the next day. I'd probably go outside, release the endorphins,
still exercise,
getting the nice colours from the environment and getting nice fresh air into the system. But when it comes to actually training the muscle, I'll just lay off the next day because sleep is number one. Your hormones are number one.
And imagine, you know, like writing down before you go to bed everything that you're grateful for. Imagine waking up. You'd feel amazing. You'd have good thoughts. You'd have good dreams. You'd have good intentions for life. And then if you wake up feeling excited, if you're one of those people that you sort of wake up and you don't feel excited at the moment, that's okay. But by focusing on what you're grateful for and why you're here and what you're excited about in life, the more you focus on that and give that energy, the more energy you'll then have.
Look, we don't have kids yet.
No.
But we do understand there's a lot of people on the program that do have kids.
We literally get it daily. They're like, you guys wait. Wait till you have kids. And absolutely, I'm not taking anything away from that. But I do know that when you have structure and systems, they work. Like we had Harley and Pumpkin, and they, to us, are our kids, and they were 7 weeks old. We had 2 puppies at one time. We had to find structure really quickly because we were not sleeping.
And we did our research. We started doing crate training, and we'll constantly do research in any aspect of our life. So if you do have kids, you want to get better sleep, you want your kids to have better sleep, you can never stop learning. And this is what we sort of want to get to you guys, the importance of sleep and your hormones for this program. Now, if you have a good night's sleep...
We've really elaborated on number 4 today, but it's because it is so important. It's definitely the highlight of today's chat.
We do. If you want faster recovery, if you want to feel good, we've got to look into better quality sleep. Now,
and even those days where you just don't have the answer to a certain problem in life, you know, when they say, just sleep on it. It's so true. Like, don't make decisions in life in rash. This is totally going off topic a little bit, but it's so true in the sense of a good sleep really does fix everything. So
another thing we do to get a better night's sleep is to reduce your caffeine. Now this is number 5.
I was about to say, that's number 5. You're just skipping ahead there.
Okay, so this is number 5 on your cortisol. Now most people wake up in the morning, and when you wake up in the morning, your cortisol, that stress hormone, is at its very peak. And what majority of people in the world do is they go and have a coffee in the morning.
Or a sugar-filled bowl, the general person that has a bowl of cereal.
Well, they do that as well, but usually to wake up, switch on the brain, they have coffee to wake up. And like we said, caffeine will affect your cortisol. So your cortisol's at its very peak in the morning, then you're topping it up with 100 milligrams of caffeine straight away. This isn't the way to start. This is why we have brought on Ignite Plus to combat your cortisol with the medicinal mushroom blend. And we want to start the day off by moving the body. We want to hydrate first thing in the morning. And what we do to get better sleep for tonight is go for a walk straight first thing in the morning. We get outdoors, release those endorphins, get out in the elements, and we start moving the body straight away before we do anything.
And we're surrounded by animals, essentially, like it's either the dogs or for me the horses, and it's just fresh air, animals, and good thoughts. We choose not to look at our phone until a certain time in the morning to just set good intentions for the day, which is another thing I was going to touch on before we ended this video.
Straight away,
intentions
we write down
for the next 4 weeks. You guys, at the start of this challenge, you know, you guys wrote down your vision boards and got really accurate and got those visions happening of what you guys wanted to achieve. It's really important to keep revisiting that and getting yourself excited and wiring it through your body of those intentions you're setting for today, tomorrow, and the next, 4 weeks. So,
I'm not saying
setting good intentions.
I'm not saying we don't have coffee, but we start off our day by hydrating, and then we go for
but
our
only
walk.
Because I'm too sensitive.
we go for our walk, move the body a little bit, let's get the blood flowing. And then we write down the intentions for the day, the to-do list, and we write what we want to achieve today, this week, this month.
But I think it's important to write a to-do list, but also just write intentions of who do I want to be, how do I want to act, what do I want to achieve. Because if you're always just writing a to-do list, like, life is pretty bland. You want to write what you're passionate about, what you're grateful for, what you do have. Because the more you, again, like I said at the start of the video, the more you focus on that, the more you get it.
And look, these brains that we have, they're meant to be thinking. So
they're never going to
a lot of people say, I wish I